I rarely find carrot cakes that I really love, but this one is a very soft moist cake, sweetened with raisins or sultanas, pineapple, carrots, and walnuts for a nutty flavored cake. Melt 125 grams of butter in the microwave oven. Oops! 4 eggs just appeared. Then in the same container, pour 125 milliliters of cooking oil or vegetable oil. So the total fat or oil is 250 millimeters. Set aside. Cakes need fat to make them soft and tender. For cakes like carrot cake that have flavor from other ingredients, I find flavourless oil is the best choice. In this recipe, I prefer to mix butter and cooking oil. I don't have crushed pineapple, so we are using this pineapple chunk. Don't do the pineapple syrup or the pineapple juice. You can put some ice to make a pineapple juice, or you can just drink it right away. Then roughly chop to make a 1 cup of crushed pineapple. Peel 2 or 3 large carrots. If you have some carrots like this one with blackish skin on it, don't chuck them in the bin. You'll be surprised that when you peel the carrot, it's still perfectly fine on the inside. Before we proceed to grating the carrots, let's prepare the raisins or sultanas. Measure a cup of raisin. The raisin that I have are in a single consume packet, so we need to measure a cup of it. Transfer in a container. Pour in lukewarm water. Set aside. Let's start grating the carrots. It's not clear when carrot cakes first started being baked and eaten, but documents show that carrot puddings were made in medieval times across Europe, where the sweetness of the carrots made up for the lack of pricey ingredients such as sugar or dried fruits. Recipes in the UK date as late 16th century, and George Washington was said to be served carrot tea cake in Lower Manhattan, New York in 1783, where the American Revolution dated as too. Preheat the oven slightly higher temperature to 240 degrees Celsius. The reason for this, particularly if you have a large oven, is to cover for the heat loss when you will go start baking. The longer an oven is preheated, the smaller the fluctuations become. In a large mixing bowl, put in the measured oil. Then add 1.5 cups or 2 cups of sugar. Dark brown sugar, if you have in the cupboard, is even better to give extra depth to this classic recipe. Mix well until blended. Use a balloon whisk to whisk together until well combined. And I'm not talking about the whisk with a balloon on the top. Add 4 pieces of eggs. Reasons to avoid mistakes on cracking eggs. The first reason is that cracking eggs directly into a recipe is sure to have eggshells floating around. Second, if you crack a rotten egg directly into a recipe by mistake, it ruins the entire batter. Cracking the eggs separately from a mixed recipe limits the contamination of a rotten egg. Then you can discard the putrid eggs and add a fresh batch to the recipe. Add a cup of crushed pineapple. Blend well. Put in 2 cups of grated carrots. Mix well until blended. Drain the water from raisins. Tap out the excess water. In the recipe mixture, add a teaspoon of cinnamon powder and a teaspoon of nutmeg and a dash of salt. Mix well. Put in a teaspoon of baking powder and a teaspoon of baking soda. Mix well. Measure 2 cups of plain flour by scooping them. And level it with the back of a knife or bread knife. Add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Mix well until fully blended. But do not overmix the batter. When cake batter is overmixed, it creates a dense, weak cake. The cake will be fragile as the protein structure was weakened by too much mixing. An overmixed one will likely be gummy, chewy, and unpleasant. Eventually, the density and weakness of the cake may cause it to collapse. Though overmixing it can be easy to do, especially if you are new to baking, it can easily ruin your cake. Add the raisins or sultanas. And let us know in the comment section what food you want us to try next, or if you tried this recipe. I love hearing from you guys. Prepare the loaf pan. You can use 2 of 9x5 pans. Grease them by using the spray thingy like this one, or use the brush by dipping it to the melted butter. Line it with baking or wax paper. Pour the batter mixture into the loaf pan. After you've poured the batter in the cake tin, drop or tap the cake pan on the kitchen counter a couple of times to force the air in the mixture to come to the surface. Prepare 2 handfuls of walnuts by vigorously hand crushing them. Sprinkle them on top of the cake batter mixture. Make sure you pop the cake batter in a preheated oven straight away, as in letting it sit will cause the ingredients to interact differently than they should. Turn the heat to 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Celsius Fahrenheit. Bake for about 45 to 50 minutes. When testing to see if a cake is done, a toothpick or a BBQ stick is the go-to tool. For the classic cake toothpick test, you simply insert a wooden toothpick near the center of the cake. If the toothpick comes out clean, the cake is done. Then if it needs to cook again, just pop them in for another 10 to 15 minutes. Then you remove it from the oven. Let it cool for 15 minutes in the pan and then transfer to a wire rack to cool completely. Be sure to subscribe and check out the rest of our videos where you can find easy recipes to try at home. If you want to know how to cook Filipino dish in the easiest way or to know some cooking and baking, links in the upper right of this video. You can now slice them into your desired thickness. If you enjoyed this video as much as we enjoyed making it, please do remember to give a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and of course hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our latest updates. Moment of silence, please. Bye-bye to all of my repeaters. That is all from Cook Repeat. See you in the next videos, my dear repeaters. Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye.